Adults, listen carefully if you're struggling with anxiety. If you're drinking to calm your nerves, if you're using substances to escape your thoughts, if you're numbing the panic, the fear, the loneliness, the trauma, or the stress, then I need to tell you something painfully true. Your life does not stay the same from here. It gets worse, slowly, quietly, consistently, until everything collapses. This video is not meant to scare you. It's meant to show you the future you walking into if you stay on the path you on. This is what happens when adults mix anxiety with addiction and then ignore both. Let's begin. When you live with anxiety, your nervous system is already overloaded, overstimulated, exhausted, unpredictable, and fragile. Now add alcohol and drugs on top of that, and you create the perfect storm. Your baseline level of fear increases, your sleep collapses, your stress skyrockets, your body stops being able to regulate itself, and your brain becomes unstable. You think substances calm the anxiety, but what they're actually doing is masking it now and magnifying it later. What quiets your mind at night destroys your mind by morning. This is the beginning of the downfall, and this is the lie adults tell themselves. I'm managing it. It's not that bad. I can quit anytime. I'm just relieving stress. I'm just relaxing. I'm just taking the edge off. No, what you're actually doing is coping, avoiding, escaping, numbing, delaying, surviving, masking, and denying. And denial is the most dangerous symptom of adult addiction. Because adults don't usually crash. They slowly deteriorate until the crash becomes unavoidable. The first thing you lose is your mind. When you live with anxiety and use substances, your brain eventually breaks. This is what it looks like: racing thoughts, insomnia, that awful morning dread, constant overthinking, irrational fears, and panic attacks that come out of nowhere. You experience emotional instability, hypersensitivity, and intrusive thoughts. You feel on edge all day, with a constant fear of losing control, alcohol and drugs damage. The exact same brain regions that anxiety already overwhelms. The result? A brain that feels unsafe 24/7, a mind that feels like an enemy. This is where the real suffering begins. The second thing you lose is your body. If you continue down this path, your body will slowly collapse. We're talking about heart palpitations, elevated blood pressure, chronic fatigue, a weakened immune system, stomach issues, trembling, headaches, and hormonal imbalance. You might lose your appetite, develop inflammation, strain your liver, and burn out your adrenal glands. Your body goes into a constant state of fight or flight, and when you add substances to that, your nervous system becomes a war zone. Adults don't bounce back like teenagers. Your decline is slower, but the damage is much, much deeper. The third thing you lose is your emotional stability. If you don't quit, this is the emotional timeline. In year 1, it's irritability, mood swings, overwhelm, emotional crashes, regret, and shame. By year 3, you're looking at emotional numbness, hopelessness, bitterness, frustration, increased anxiety, a loss of interest in things you used to love, and depression. And by year 5, it's emotional breakdowns, uncontrollable panic, being emotionally unavailable, an inability to connect with others, a deep fear of the future, profound shame, and an inner emptiness. Your emotional world becomes a battlefield that no one else can even see. The fourth thing you lose is your relationships. If you keep going, your relationships will change, not might, they will. You begin to withdraw, to isolate, to argue, to hide things, to lie. You disconnect, you shut down, you numb out, and you stop communicating. The people around you will feel it: your partner, your kids, your friends, your coworkers. The anxiety makes you emotionally unavailable. The addiction makes you unpredictable. Slowly, you push people away without even meaning to. And you wake up one day realizing you're surrounded by people you love, but you feel completely and utterly alone. The fifth thing you lose is your self-respect. This is the part that hurts the most. You begin losing trust in yourself. You promise yourself you'll quit, but you don't. You say, just one, and you break that promise. You miss opportunities, you let yourself down, you avoid responsibilities. You sabotage your own progress. Addiction, when combined with anxiety, eats away at your identity. You stop recognizing the person in the mirror, and that shame becomes another addiction in itself, and this leads to the final stage, the life you never wanted. If you stay on this path, this is what your life turns into over time. Constant fear, declining health, damaged relationships, financial instability, and emotional collapse. It's dependency, regret, isolation, and lost potential. It's a life that's smaller than your dreams, a mind you can't trust, and a body you can't rely on. Addiction with anxiety doesn't just ruin your life, it slowly takes ownership of it. And the scariest part? You won't see the destruction happening until it's already done. This is the future you're facing if you don't change direction. But here is the truth. If you don't quit alcohol and drugs while living with anxiety, your life will not stay manageable. Your mind will not stay stable, your body will not stay healthy, your relationships will not remain intact, your future will not unfold the way you hope. But you can escape this timeline, you can change direction, you can rebuild your mind, you can reclaim your body, you can restore your self-respect, you can heal your nervous system. You can get sober, you can recover. How do I know? Because I did it. Your path is not doomed, your story is not over, your healing is still possible, your future is still salvageable. But it starts with the hardest truth. The life you want cannot coexist with the substances that are destroying you. Tonight, you make a choice. Continue collapsing or begin reclaiming your life. Subscribe for daily warrior recovery videos. Remember, your anxiety is treatable, your addiction is beatable, your future is still in your hands. You are the warrior. Now start fighting for yourself.